Okay, Walk and Talk, Ashland's edition, episode 2. Let's get into the reaction. There might be some heat noises, sadly, but yeah, I just got finished with my ramen and stuff. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to our Walk and Talks. I'm Josephine, and I'm here with my colleagues Robin
Hello.
and Jonathan
Hello again.
to have a little chat about Valheim and Ashland's development. This is part 2 of the series, so if you...
Oh my god, this whole episode's gonna be filled with cool stuff, isn't it? Oh my god, the quality on this. Get that up to 1080. Already cool arches, great spot to just check things out with Feather Cape and get your arbalest out for snipes and oh my god.
If you haven't watched the first video already, go and do that first. But now, let's get to it.
Like this whole episode is gonna be filled with cool stuff just because of the setting that they're in.
I want to talk a little bit about what we have shown off so far. We've shown some creatures and some parts of the environment, so how did they all come into being?
Which ones? What are we talking about exactly?
What, of the creatures that we have shown, do you have a favorite?
Yes. But I want Jonathan to say, talk about your favorite, Jonathan.
Hold up. Alright, hang on. Sorry. He just got turned up. Ooh, look at this. Whoa! I like the way that the roads look, the pathing effect, or what have you. And then what's up with this? Maybe some sort of bubbly, hot river nonsense. Might deal damage to boats, maybe not. I don't know.
What's your favorite?
My favorite, I haven't even considered that yet. I don't know. I kind of like trash mobs. So
Respect.
I think the Twitchers are quite fun.
Twitchers! Okay, here we go. So these are the trash mobs apparently. These are the Grey Dwarf type enemies that we're going to have to deal with. I like that they're going in and giving us trash mobs, because that's the easiest form of understanding and feeling progression in a biome. Trash mobs. Being able to just Dougie on some mobs with increased gear and being able to see that immediately, great feeling. It's also good knowing that certain mobs start to feel trash, and it's like a good benchmark. How easily can I take something out relative to the easiest mob in the biome? That's a great benchmark of your own personal skill development. Very satisfying. Great must-have in every biome, I think. And in every RPG. Yeah, I think every RPG must have trash mobs. I think they have to, as a benchmark. And then it's like, you can always change up encounter diversity with the amount of mobs that you have. So, Valheim does this wonderfully. Grey Dwarfs, they are a trash mob. They might be difficult at first, considering if you encounter a ton of them, or a bunch of Grey Dwarfs plus a shaman, or a couple of Grey Dwarfs plus a brute, or a troll. It's like, interesting things happen. It's like, oh, how are the spawns like from in, was it a nest, a Grey Dwarf nest? Very, very cool how the encounter variety leads to more difficult instances of combat while maintaining the progression and excellent feeling of destroying trash mobs. I think every single RPG... This is a big thing that I ranted about on a members-only video, but there's a lot of modern RPGs, especially turn-based RPGs, that really fall into the camp, and they're really running into the narrative of, oh, turn-based, people don't like turn-based. It's like, well, if you just make the game good, there are tons of people that like turn-based games, that love turn-based games, just as they are. And you don't have to pander to people who don't like them in order to make a good turn-based game. But a ton of these modern turn-based games are being like, let's make everything into a mini-game, and let's just gimmick up everything and make it so that there are no trash mobs. You have to really think about every single encounter, and every encounter is going to be tedious, and there's going to be a mini game and gimmick in every single one. And while that's certainly satisfying to a crowd, like there's absolutely people that love it, considering incredible success of Paper Mario of yore. I think Paper Mario was just trying to be its own unique thing at the time. And modern RPGs are trying to take from the crowd that just don't like turn-based games and make a game that somehow works well for them, and then also people that like turn-based. And it's leaving trash mobs behind, but we're losing all of the sense of satisfaction and progression and personal, not only personal player, but personal character growth and party management. And seeing all of this relative to the trash mob is just an amazing feeling. It's a great benchmark to have. And it also just makes things smooth as you like. I mean, turn-based games are already smooth, okay? But even when you get into these action games, it's really nice just having a basic mob being smooth as you like. I mean, you have this even in games like Elden Ring. If you have even a remote level of competence in a Souls-like or a Souls game, bunch of regular enemies are going to be like trash mobs all the time. You just have to be wary of encounter variety, and that's where the nutty stuff begins. So we saw in the Ashland's January 2024 dev blog, we saw this spire with some nice little off-button looking stones surrounding it. And this thing was a Twitcher spawner. So even though these are going to be like the trash mobs in this biome, there's going to be a good variety to it. I assume they're going to be difficult at first. Looks can be deceiving. Trash mobs in a new biome coming from the old biome are always going to be difficult. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely going to be the classic learning curve, and I have no doubts that the whatever trash mob that we have now is going to be cool. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great benchmark, and I trust their design on this regard.
They're like on the brink of annoying, but you can still kill enough of them to make them not so annoying after a little while. So yeah.
Ooh, look at the lighting on that. And then also, yes, like I like how Jace Mars puts it, because this is a good indication that they are aware of the Grey Dwarf issue. The issue with Grey Dwarfs specifically, not trash mobs, but Grey Dwarfs specifically, is that there are so many of them, and it becomes that tedious nature of taking them out. It's, again, like the thing that I rail about with some of these modern turn-based RPGs. A lot of this forced thinking for mobs that should be trash mobs just becomes tedious after a while. Like, having to do the minigame instead of just click button becomes tedious. When we are growing as characters, growing as players in terms of skill, in terms of power, okay? It should be simple to just smash these guys out of existence. So, maybe once we pick up the Eldener, depending on these guys' resistances and weaknesses, they'll be really simple to shred out of your way. And that's what's really good. Like, at the end of the Black Forest Age, I mean, I think you have to have, like, polearms, like, 50-something in order to start one-shotting Grey Dwarfs with a quality 4 Bronze Ad gear. And that's you have to do a little bit of swamp diving to get a quality 4 Bronze Ad gear at that point, which I always do. It's a good thing to have. Ad gear is so good. But having to do all of that work to get rid of Grey Dwarfs consistently, it's like, I don't know. That's annoying as hell. Compared to, regular, like a lot of RPGs, you just, like, smack them once, and they get destroyed. Or, like, going into a past biome with the Staff of Embers, per se. Or the Demolisher, Taking out some growths, even, with the Staff of Embers. That's an amazingly satisfying experience. And those aren't trash mobs, far from it. So, I like that they're going in this direction where even the dedicated trash mobs will feel the way that they are supposed to be. They will be cleared out the way that they are supposed to be cleared out, and they will not be a nuisance going into the later stages of the biome. It just feels like it's going to be a good-ass biome depending, yeah, I mean, at this point it should be like everybody's favorite biome with the amount of time that's taking. But, we shall see.
How did the Twitchers come into being then? Why did we put those in the game?
We, from the start, the charred melee units and archers or marksmen, they were random spawns throughout Ashlands, and it just kind of felt a little bit weird that you
Brutal.
were going up against them.
Brutal.
and then
Hang
when
on.
you go,
Stop. I was drinking some ramen soup. I got tonkotsu ramen today. Delicious. Look at that. Look at the size of this bow. It's not just a war bow, but this is like a great bow out of Dark Souls. Look at the size of
felt
this
a little
thing.
bit weird that you were going up.
I mean, this sword is pretty standard, long sword looking thing. Nice stance, two-handed. Look at the size of this bow. Oh my god. You can kind of see like there's more reinforcement around the edges. This might just be like random spawn thing. But I think this is actually good, like well represented in terms of the power of a warrior. Like some character, whoever needed, a lot of strength to be able to actually draw and release a bow, like a fantasy bow like this. This is ridiculously large. And, I mean, yeah, just the draw strength needed, it would be astronomical. So actually representing that with like a larger looking skeleton, like width-wise, these back muscles needed, yeah, very well done. Now, I know this guy doesn't have any muscles, but damn, well done. Well done on the design for that. I mean, that's just menacing. And it's especially menacing because, like, how much damage are they going to do? Also, Pierce? Are we still going to be running... Are we still going to be running Root Harness on non-magical builds? My god, the value of that thing. If you're worried about fire, just drink a fire res, and then you're set. And then you have your Pierce res. I mean, geez, look at that. I can only assume pierce damage, right? Ugh. Now, good to know Root Harness doesn't go over the bubble when you have Staff of Protection, so never use it on a magical build, because that bubble is amazing. Up to 700 HP on that bubble, and you can just reapply it so easily. I mean, come on. Super easy. It's like a mini bone mess on the fly. Should build all your confidence, all your destruction. It's just incredible, especially in co-op. Keep yourselves bubbled up for the Ashlands.
Against them, and then when you go up against the fortress time, or the fortress, we call it fortress time, but it felt weird that you were meeting them again, going up against them again. So we felt like we needed something, some kind of trash mob, a Grey Dwarf. We needed a Grey Dwarf in Ashlands.
Again, what would the Black Forest do?
Yes.
A Grey Dwarf.
But this time...
Yo, look at these ruins. So nice.
Twitchers are insanely more difficult than Grey Dwarves. And
Of course.
more irritating than Grey Dwarves.
Irritating.
I
Don't put it like that. I hope it's not more irritating than the Grey Dwarfs, man. Oh, God.
That's I just was gonna say. I think that's why I like them. Like I like games that are like on the brink of irritating.
No, man, I was just giving them props for, like, design that's not irritating. Like, oh, no. I hope they have, like, a different conception. Because they obviously know more than we do. So, there's a good chance that it's like, oh, it's like quote-unquote irritating, but like the way that a Drake is, for instance, where you can just two-shot snipe a Drake and it's like no problem. Or just one-shot it from sneak attack. Like maybe the Twitchers are the same. Hopefully.
But you can still manage to learn how to kill them, and then you can overcome the game somehow.
Okay,
So
thank you, Jason.
one thing that is a little bit different is that you have the Twitcher spawners they're pretty.
Yep.
There are many of them everywhere. So it's a little bit.
So this is going to be interesting. Twitcher spawners, like, I didn't mention this in the devlog, but like, usually every spawner is destructible. Are we going to have to pickaxe this thing to destroy it, or what is this? Like, it's all made of stone. It's curious. Maybe we got to destroy all the things around it. Who knows?
You have to go forward a little bit slowly and try to get those spawners in order to just cover some ground. But then the added bonus, you get the you get the more.
Oh, hang on.
Have we
Hold
shown
on. Hold.
to go forward a little bit slow.
Okay, I like the recommendation, but again, it's like you gotta go slowly, right? Like that's such a like new biome advice where eventually we're gonna have guides and like we're gonna be through it where it's gonna be like, yeah, you just go up and destroy it. It's like no problem. Eventually, it's gonna be the case. There's no way. But also look at the lightning-esque particle effects when they start walking
Slowly and try to
into
get
this
those
area.
spawners in order to just cover some ground.
What is
With the
going
added
on
bonus,
here?
you get
What is
the-
up with this?
you get them.
Yo, that looks sick.
Have we shown them more?
Are we gonna get like lightning stuff? Oh yeah, we are. Because of the gems with the infusions, we're gonna get like lightning slayer and the lightning needhog. Oh, so there's gonna be lightning aspects. I don't know if you've ever seen volcanic lightning. When there's violent enough eruptions, there's lightning all around the eruption. It's like so energetic of a force. It just changes like the cloud layer around it. It's so cool. It's so cool. But yeah, like that would be an easy way to include lightning, and then of course like with all the chemicals and sulfur being spewed out and pyroclastic flow, it's very easy to say here's poison influence, and so that's the reason why the gems that we have in the Ashlands are the way that they are, or at least the teased ones, being fire, lightning, and poison. It's like that's all volcanic in origin. Super easy to in-world explain why we're getting those three. So I'm very excited. It's gonna be very interesting. Like maybe we're gonna have to need poison res in here. We'll see.
We've shown concept art of the Morgan.
The Morgan.
Shown. Yes, we have. All right, good, awesome. I have no clue what we have shown and what we've not shown.
So this will be a very spoilery talk, probably.
Let's
Probably, maybe.
It's my job to make sure you don't.
go.
Awesome.
Come on, Josh.
But my favorite creature is the Morgan. I think that
Ooh.
one is
I love it. So if it's Grimcore's favorite, that means it's hard as hell. Now Grimcore is a full heavy armor, tower shield, and spear main in regular gameplay. Not speedrunning, like regular. And so I remember when we were in Mistlands development, he was like, I've tried the Mistlands 9 times and I haven't been able to beat the queen without co-op, and I'm just like, oh no. But then I, actually fighting the queen and just like realizing strategies around her, it's like, really? That's what? He's not exactly using the best build, per se, and it's just making things really unnecessarily challenging. But he loves hard gameplay, like brutal gameplay. He's always going to be the advocate for things being incredibly challenging. And so if he's, if the Morgan is his favorite enemy, that's probably a very difficult enemy. Oh, this is the front of the Morgan now. Ooh.
it's fun to play against. It feels like a mini boss, and
Okay,
it has
so
some
like a
fun-
troll type enemy.
It has
That
some
makes
fun
sense.
mechanics. It hurts a lot.
Can we mention the thing that happened when we were playtesting was it 2 weeks ago in the wall? I think that was like one of the coolest moments we had playtesting for quite a while.
Oh, we could. The thing is that we haven't talked about specifically that creature.
Oh
We
yeah,
haven't
What?
shown.
Oh,
What do they mean?
okay, yeah.
yeah, I know the one, but let's
let's
not
keep it.
mention that.
Oh,
Let's,
Monty, why? How dare?
Let's
you?
just make this one
How dare you
a
do your
very
job?
juicy bit of gossip for people to fear.
Check out this tower, yo.
We had
Uh,
fun. That's the important part. So there's a chance that you.
Oh, the building, like the way the refurbishing. I don't know what's the term that I want to use here. Just being able to repair and reconstruct and make these ruins our own and just make them beautiful. Oh God, I cannot wait. That is gonna be. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so heavy in the Ashlands. Like there's gonna be so much of that. We're gonna have to like look out. We can't just do this everywhere without the right precautions because of the meteor shower event. But still,
Have fun if you play Ashland.
Content warning, fun possible.
Yeah.
also like a lot. I wonder if they're specifically going over a coastal area or if this Ashlands is going to be semi-aquatic on the. I mean, they're in the outside area of the Ashlands because all this the environment is indicative of what they teased previously with the outer Ashland. So that's probably why there's so much water here. They just happen to be by the coast.
Fun has
Also-
been confirmed.
The fun line.
Another
if
structure.
you just go past it, you get to the frustration line. So there's a fine line between fun and frustration in Ashland. Hopefully, it's going
was
to
that
be on the
fish?
fun
Hang on.
frustration line. So there's a fine line between
Fish,
fun
yes, the
and
magma
frustration
fish.
in Ashlands. Hopefully, it's going to be on the fun side.
Ashland puts the fun in funstration? No?
In yes.
That's not how it's spelled.
But I think the Valkyrie is another. The Fallen Valkyrie is something we've been talking about.
Beautiful.
Since way
Yeah,
back.
yeah, you mentioned in last
Gorgeous.
episode that it did not turn out the way it was going to be originally, that it's
That's
gone through a
fine.
lot of iterations to finally feel good.
Yeah, as long as it's
It's gone through so many stages, but
in. Look
it's
at that thing.
it's at a stage where I feel that it's really good.
Oh
It
my
has
god.
a purpose, and it has
Yo, look at the Ashlands lightning. Oh.
really good.
Also, these particles are going straight down. Is this going to be from the Valkyrie? Or
It,
is
it
like
has
what?
a purpose, and it has
Or maybe that's a weather. Maybe that's from the rain. Oh.
a stage where I feel that it's really good. It has a purpose.
Terrifying.
And
Beautiful.
it has a place in the roster of enemies.
You know what would be cool if because we're having so many of these towers across the landscape. If this is just the average looking density of like instant structures per distance covered, man, those Valkyries could be perched up there and then see you and then fly over. Oh, that would be so cool. That would be so sick. Like you climb to the top of one of these towers, you see another tower, and then like you'd be like, "Oh, what's that?" And then it just starts flying at you. That's so cool.
Many times when we're creating all these enemies, you have to sit down and think about what kind of position or kind of role they play together. Because many times you'll get all these creatures joining up and trying to get you. And I feel like we've found how the Fallen Valkyrie is supposed to be. There was one moment there where we were actually going to just delete it.
Okay, I'm glad they didn't delete it. It feels weird that they like it has to suit a very specific purpose. Like, man, Wraiths, the purpose that Wraiths had. Okay, let's talk about that. Are they not just to scare the shit out of you at night? I understand that they have like also a purpose of like, don't go sailing too far with your carve at night, otherwise you'll get a wraith attacking you. It's like, oh no. But the serpents already kind of have that in a way. The wraiths are just kind of like, let's scare the crap out of you at night in the swamps and you'll have a great time. Because you already get like, I assume most of your chain from the chests in the sunken crypts already. Or just out in the overworld, in like spawners in the swamps. So I see that, and I'm like, couldn't the Fallen Valkyrie just have that purpose, just scaring the shit out of you at night, just being like, don't go out at night, kiddies. Even though like we already know that from like every single biome, still, that's just that's just the main beauty of the Wraiths is that they are an amazing experience, like their classic story that everybody's gonna tell. Oh, that time that we thought that what's that glow, and then oh, it's a wraith, and scared the shit out of me. It's like everybody has that story from Valheim, and it's glorious. It's like a classic Valheim experience, and I love it every time. The wraith trophy is magnificent. The chain drop is incredible. All these things are really good. I do wish that they added in the dark blue light on the Wraith trophy. I think that would be amazing considering how cool the trophy is and how effectively rare it is to get. It is a 5% drop, but raids are pretty rare anyway, so much more difficult than other 5% drops. Anyway, they are just wonderful. They're one of my favorite enemies, and I think, yeah, their main purpose being something that is a lesson learned from every biome that we know of already. I think that the idea of even thinking of scrapping the Fallen Valkyrie is ridiculous. Just put it in if you're going to put that much effort into it. And it's like, obviously the community is fawning over this creature design. Like, why not? Why not? Like, come on. Like, if you've done the work and you've done 11 million iterations or however many that he's implying that they've done, and they've done like rigging and animation and 3D design, and of course the concept art's already been done a long time ago. If they've gone through all this effort, I think the question should be why not instead of why. If you've already gone through that effort, then the question should absolutely be why not, and not why. Like, this is a backwards idea, considering the effort, and not only the effort, but the community response, too. Like, once you've shown the effort, done the teaser, seen the community positive response, the question should not be why. Well, why must it be included? I don't know. It's like, what are you, allergic to fun? What are we talking about here? The question should be why not? Why should we not include this thing that we've teased and everybody loves? Apparently. Why not? Come on. It's just silly. It's silly. Like, we don't have to be so extremely rigid considering the creature design in the past. Like, the lessons that we have. Like, we don't even have unique creatures that give this lesson in the plains. This lesson of, like, oh, don't go out at night. There's unique spawns, but there's not unique creatures. Like, there's the groups of Fullings and everything. But that's just like groups of 4 or 5 Fullings. It's really not that difficult. However, the unique impact that a Wraith has, or that a Fallen Valkyrie will have, that should be more than enough. Especially considering all the effort and everything I mentioned already.
Yeah, and visually I think it looks so much, but I mean it really, just like the past week or so, it made some really nice additions to how it looks. I think
Yeah,
people are
the
gonna
VFX
like it.
for that one is a real game changer.
Yeah, Andreas agrees.
Oh, God.
No, he doesn't. But that's fine. Yeah.
But that's some creatures, but we also have the rest of the environment. Like, why does the Ashland look the way it does? We have the weather, the locations, the buildings. Is there anything there you want to talk a little bit about?
I think Ashlands could have been so much, and I think if you look at how it looked back in before it became what it is now. The big difference is that it's a lot more ash. It's not called the Lava Lands. It's not called Volcano Country. So you have to play with a little bit with the name and try to find it, like the identity of it. But I think we're at a stage where it feels good. I think it's a very versatile biome, but it all depends on where you are in Ashlands, I guess. But it wasn't easy trying to find.
Damn! Look at the wall. Hold on! Look at that!
It's been a difficult.
That's amazing.
We've had so many assets in the game, so many assets that's not being used, many assets that are just been thrown out because it feels redundant, because it feels too much.
Redundant, too much, bro. How? What? Really? I mean, you think of the amount of like boulders and things that they put up in the mountains. Like, if you ever get a really, really big mountain, right before it just starts to generate like the actual terrain of it, you can see all of the instance boulders and things that they actually like have up in the mountain. It's just so dense with all of these boulders, and it's like, you put in all these like repetitive and like different style of boulders up in the mountains. You already did that, and you know, we had no issue with that. You know, having in different assets for like these types of structures, natural or unnatural, like we love it. You know, of course the instance ruins are more of a obvious and clear conscious appreciation from the player base and from the community. Like, I'm sure everybody had the same reaction that I do when I see all the ruins and like, ooh, ruins, oh, those look cool. But subconsciously, the appreciation in the varied way that terrain can be generated with like instance boulders and like platforms and stuff is much appreciated, because honestly, in the Mistlands, you know, the Mist does a good deal of concealing this, but there's a ton of reused crags in the Mistlands, the way that it generates. And it almost takes me out of it. I'm just like, yep, this is the same rock that I've been on just past there, you know? So having a good variety of these is going to be subconsciously beneficial for immersion, for everybody. It's like, why not? Like, if you've done all this work and putting this in, and just like actually modeling it and all of this, I'm like, man, just put it in the game. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's some secret. Oh, there's some hidden way that enemies like jankily interact with certain parts of terrain. Like, they just skip over these crags or whatnot, or just, I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see.
It doesn't feel like Valheim.
I think it's been one of those cases where, like, if you say art is never done on the Abandoned, I think there's been so many, like, it could have been done like 5 iterations ago, but it's so much better now than it was then. So it seems like every time somebody makes a pass, it's like, oh,
there's some J Smart's hopium right there. Okay, this is why J Smart's is fucking god tier dev on this team. All right, him saying, "Oh, it could have been done, but it's been worked on and it's 5 times better now than it was then," is incredibly reassuring. Like, oh my god, that feels so good from Jace Mars. Like, holy shit. Yeah, alright, I'll believe you, Jace Mars. Let's keep going.
A little more of this. We need to go over this a bit more. It actually gets...
Yo, look at that. Look at the archway. That's so... Oh, man. The building that we're going to be able to do. And I think that is a Twitcher spawner.
Better. So I think we've made a lot of progress.
Whoa, what's up with the...
We've been...
Sorry.
So it seems like every time...
Looks like maybe a lava pit.
Pass, it's like, oh, we need
spewing
a little more
up
we need to
some
go over
orbs.
this a bit more. It actually gets a lot better. So I think we've made a lot of progress.
Yeah,
visually
cool.
It's really been kind of a journey.
Oh my god.
Going from this is how it's supposed to look, and
like, could you imagine if they cut some of these ruin designs because it, like, oh, it feels redundant? Like, that'd be, you know, that would feel really bad. Or like if they went and cut some of the mountain boulders or even some of the Mistlands crags because they felt like it would be like, you know, it's like, oh, we're adding in like some more of the same. But it's like, if you're adding in something that's like similar, that's fine because it's not technically the same. And what we're just left with, if you cut that out, is more of the same. By definition, we have less variety and it's going to be more of the same in that regard. And we will notice, just like we do from the Mistlands, just like we do in the mountains. I think it's fair that if you're going to go in and model and get all these assets, like, I'm perfectly fine with like a wide variety of boulder variety. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, that's fine with me. Because I'm the type of dude to make like little underground shacks beneath these fucking things. So, you know, cool variety in that regard.
Bam, there it is. It's been more like trying a lot of different stuff out, finding something that works.
I think, like I've said before, we don't really work with art passes on stuff. We work very organically and iteratively when going forward.
Look at that arch.
So with that said, we don't actually block out stuff and then
Ooh, the way that these archers are designed, that's going to be a pain to climb. Just because you have these, like, overhanging ridges here. If you know from Mistlands, and you do know, sometimes you can get caught on this, and it'll, like, gimp you, and just, like, you won't be able to get up. So you got to be very careful in jumping. Got to jump early with high jump levels to get over there conveniently. It'll be interesting. I can see a lot of, like, really bad players going in here, and it's like they're trying to run up because a mob's, like, chasing them, and they try to jump up, and they're, like, out of stamina, and they're like, oh, let me up, oh, and then just, like, something just climbs up and kills them. It's like, yeah.
art pass on it, like level design.
Honestly, like, after mountains, when I saw people having issues with Mistlands after mountains, I was just like, fucking skill issue, dude. Get real. Like, even here, it's like, I'm not gonna have any fucking sympathy after the mountains and Mistlands if people are, like, having issues with this. It's like, where is your intuitive gamer sense? Like, where is that? Get good.
And just do an art pass. Like, we try to finish stuff, put it into the game and see if it fits, and try to tweak and work around it and see what needs to stay or not. Just today I was working on a rock platform for the flame metal. Can I talk about the flame metal?
Yeah, people know about flame metal. Flame metal is already like in the game since before. It's just been not used.
Yeah, so
we can talk about it.
Great. So you have to get the flame metal. Can I talk about how you get the flame metal?
Yay, flame metal's in Ashland officially.
Just go.
I think you can talk a bit about
Should
how
just
to
summon
get the flame
everything
metal.
and
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that is going to be... when we were designing it, we knew we wanted to have lava, and we got lava into the game. What we didn't know is what...
Look at the size of this tree! Yo, treehouse building under it. Shout out old Mistlands. Like post Hearth and Home, like pre actual Mistlands design. Old Mistlands had these enormous ancient trees, and I mean, you could just build little huts underneath the roots. If we have trees like this, oh my god, being able to build tree houses is gonna be so cool. I love it. This is so nice.
Going to put flame metal into the lava, because back in the day it was just these big lava pools, and they were just taking up space. You didn't do anything, you were not engaging the lava in any way, so we threw out the flame metal into the lava. Now it becomes like this little game mechanic how you try to go out and get the flame metal. And
so the flame metal is in the lava. How the hell are we gonna get it out of the lava? I think everybody's first instinct is tar pit method. Pickaxe some drainage for it. But I'm not thinking it'll be that simple necessarily. I don't know. We'll have to see. I feel like if there's going to be some flame metal around the edges, we might have to build that battering ram and literally ram the metal and use knockback and hit it out of the lava. That would be interesting, but it would have to be at the edges, or we would have to have some sort of lava resistance so that we can go in there and ram it out of the lava. That would be cool. Like, literally send the orbs, the balls flying out. We'll have to see.
But now we had to do an iterative process again,
Yo!
and then through that we found out that we need these platforms.
Oh, is that what it looks like now?
Where we spawn the flame metal onto, and just today
Yeah, that's what it is now. It's not the orbs anymore. Flame metal are these giant spires now. Oh. He's like a pseudo obelisks. Okay, well, I mean, come on. Feather Cape, man. Feather Cape, bro. Like, okay. It's like, oh, how are you guys going to do that? Let's put ruins right next to our instance of flame metal in our teaser thing. And then, remember, guys, you have the Feather Cape. It's like, okay, well, it's going to be easy to get there now. Of course, I assume almost every other instance of this in the actual game when we're playing, it's not going to be as easy as literally just building up here and feather caping over. Like, there's got to be something more difficult than that. But, it'll be curious. It'll be curious to actually get here. What's going to be interesting is because of the lava, we don't want metal to drop in the lava. A good idea is actually going to be attaching a wood pseudo net around the spire towards the bottom so that it catches the flame metal and doesn't drop in the lava. That way you have, especially if you're doing co-op, people that can gather and start collecting it and putting it in the boat to go home. And then people mining on the top. Maybe some scouts to keep lookout for fallen Valkyries, considering how much noise you'll be making.
Been doing again another pass. I think it's like the 10th pass or something on a different platform for the flame metal platforms. But yeah, that's really interesting. Also pretty tedious. It's like trying to find what's right, what works, what doesn't work. So you make a platform, you go out, you play test it, and you're like, no, don't like it. You do it again, and you do it again, until you find something that is nice.
All right. Well, another thing that I want to talk about is the siege engines that we have shown a little bit of, and also the fortress time that we've hinted at.
Oh dear.
What is that, and what can you expect?
What
from
can
it?
we expect from that, Robert? What do you say?
Aha! So, in the early days, I had this, I had an idea that Ashlands would be all about undead war, sieges, attacking Ashlands, and I was having a discussion with Richard, and he was saying, or we were just talking around, and he said something. What about if we have a battering ram? And I was like,
Yeah.
right, can we do
Real
that?
Viking shit, let's go. But also kind of fantastical, because we are in the 10th world. I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. The way that we can actually get up there and really just enter this pseudo-modern Viking age and have this raid experience. Oh my god, it's going to be so good.
Are we allowed to?
I'm so hyped for Fortress time.
Because so many times it's like some things work in Valheim, some things shouldn't be put into Valheim. And the siege engines was like, what? Oh, you're innovative now. What are you saying? Can we use battering rams? Really?
Yep.
Is that something?
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. If we're saying this, we're asking this question post Mistlands, with all of the Dverger tech that we could potentially use or like get access to from the Dverger, with all the advancements in magic and with the Black Forge and the Galder table and whatnot. Like, yes. Can we use battering ram? Yeah, we can. Let's stop.
We started talking about it even more and more. So yeah, now we've got battering rams and catapults in the game.
Hell
we
yeah,
have to
dude.
try to siege the fortresses to get the rewards inside.
There's so many ruins. Oh my god.
And so far, it's been pretty interesting. If you've followed us on
Look at the flying
Twitter,
buttresses on that. What the
you'll
hell?
See that
Like
sometimes
the
we
disconnected
throw out
archers
these,
almost look like buttresses.
Playtest Friday
Oh.
maps, I guess, where you can see where we died, or Andreas died a lot. That's a lot from the fortress times.
It's
And
gonna be difficult.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I think playing in like, I think there's gonna be a lot of dying in Ashland. So I just want to say,
Fuck you, dude.
and also playing it hardcore, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be surprised if I see anybody when we first see somebody beat the game without dying. That's gonna be crazy. I think if they can manage Ashlands.
Yep. That's it's gonna be fun seeing people die, but I think that I think not. That's not really the big highlight. I think, or it's not seeing people die. It's seeing how they die, in what manner. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I think
interesting.
I agree.
I think we're gonna see people being very creative, like in ways that we didn't imagine. This is how you can actually beat it, like giving them the tools of a few siege machines.
Oh, well, that's the joy of being a game dev. Or just, you experience this a lot if you've ever GM'd in a tabletop game. But I see this all the time when I've GM'd any sort of tabletop. Just, even if it's a silly custom thing or like custom adjusted rules for really anything. Like, you can really just marvel at the creativity at disposal. And it's just a beautiful thing. Like, sometimes I'm even like, I don't even want to know what spells you guys have chosen, because I want to just marvel at the creative ways that you're going to use them and all of that. Like, I want to see the creativity on display. And, I mean, this is just glorious. I mean, the ways that I assume that we're going to do this different and just properly analyze and figure out good strats that are just kind of mind-blowing, not only to the average player but also to the devs. Like, I'm ready for it, man.
Like, in addition to everything else that they have, I think that it could be interesting to see how it works out. If it works out.
If it works out.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. And to say the least, it's really fun, but it's also a little bit. It is difficult trying to understand how to actually do the siege in a good, proper way. Even when we're running in, like we've got Jonathan, me, Andreas, and Christopher, 4 people trying to take on a fortress. And if you don't have tactics, if you don't have each other's backs,
I love it. I love that they're saying have tactics, have formation, because doing tactics, doing like planning and logistics, like that's one of my favorite parts of actually going about Valheim. Like, even before you actually execute things and your skill in combat, being able to plan shit out, formulate strategies, I love it. I love it.
you will die so many times, and they will hunt you. Like we've set up bases outside of the fortresses, and they start sieging us. They're
How the
coming,
tables
yeah.
may turn.
and they'll be like, no, go away.
Yeah.
I think on that very cheerful note of being hunted down by the very creatures you were trying to hunt down yourself, we're going to wrap up this episode and continue our chat at a later date.
Okay.
So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah,
both of
you're
you.
very welcome.
And let's.
All right, that was a good walk and talk, episode 2. My God, whew! It was just teaser heaven. I mean, going through these buildings, all these ruins and everything, just seeing like the lightning-esque particles, the little fireballs that spit out of it like a little lava pond. Oh, hearing about the Twitchers, the Morgan. There's more mobs that we don't know about. Fortress time. The way that you actually have to fortify an outpost near them, or else they will raid you and hunt you. It's like, the way that you have to use tactics now that we're actually in the end game. It's like, well, I was using them before, but I'm hyped about it now. I'm so hyped about it now. Oh, man. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.